Let's take. So, these are the financial modeling competences that you are required to possess as chartered accountants, as accountants in general. Accounting. For those that are in accounting, you are forced in a way, by virtue of your job, you are forced to understand the spreadsheets, or you're forced to get to know the spreadsheets. So, why should someone who is doing accounting be found in a position that he should do financial modeling? I always tell people, all these softwares that we want to have, Pastel, whatever. Excel, if you have a team of people who know how to use Excel, they can generate financials within 30 minutes, even if they are 200. If you give me trial balances, 200 trial balances, you give me your chart of accounts and the way you group your financials. I tell you, within 30 minutes you'll be watching here, I'll produce all the financials for the 200 within 30 minutes. So what type of software would you need if Excel can do that? Finance. We need to understand one thing, that when you're talking about finance, there will be also issues of investments. What do you look at under finance? You look at three things. Obviously, you look at dividends, you look at investments, you look at your finance. This is where you do your debt sculpting. So now you're here. This is where you do your debt sculpting. If truly you understand financial modeling and you're doing finance, you are in the finance department or corporate finance department, your company is not supposed to borrow more than what it is able to cover. Because when you do your financials, your forecast, say for 5 years, you're actually going to put in even a revolver. You put in this revolver that works like the way a credit card works. When there's a negative, it actually shoots in, and you're able to sculpt your debt. Debt sculpting is a trending term in investments. What you're just saying is that your cash inflows will cover your debt. And you need modeling. Financial analysis. 4 weeks ago, I do frequent Cafe Gold's regional training center to go and train regional brothers and sisters who are in the electricity industry. So when there, I was analyzing financials for Enugu, because these are the people that came to do that training were coming from Enugu Distribution Electricity Company. And I did show them from their financials that they had for 3 years financials. We went to Google them, we found them. Then I can even give you those workbooks so that you're able to see how we do the financials. The forecasting went up to 5 years, and what we were able to see, they were so surprised. Maybe positive, negative, I'm not going to mention that. Valuations. How would you do your valuations? Obviously in school, we were taught about DCF. But there's something that is beyond that, where you are able to do your EBITDA multiple. If I'm forecasting for a company that I know is supposed to do fine, I know that the EBITDA multiple has to be about 9x. Then I do my valuations checking on the EBITDA there. I will multiply the EBITDA times the EBITDA multiple. I will actually know how this company is valued. Because it doesn't matter the assets that you have. You can have less assets. Don't say my business has assets worth 20 billion or 40 billion. Those assets, maybe they are less assets. They're not even able to generate revenues. So you're interested in your EBITDA, because your EBITDA, that is what's in your cash flow. And the IS7 you used to call as the operating net cash inflow or outflow from operating activities. So financial modeling helps you to do that. Now, these are the competencies. Obviously, financial modeling should also be very good in the Microsoft Excel, extremely good. As accountants, when you check on the financials and how your company is performing, naturally we are configured to only look at figures. But I I'm trying to change the narrative that you should not concentrate on figures when you check on the financials. Whenever you see financials, see people. Because they are not generated by anything else other than the behavior of human beings. You shouldn't even tell me about the assets, the non-current assets, property, plant, and equipment, because those are also influenced by human beings, because they are the ones who purchase these assets. So if you look at, for example, you look at the income statement. The income statement, when I'm looking at revenue, I'm looking at customers. And I'm able to see how customers are performing when I do my receivables days. When I'm checking on cost of sales, I'm seeing suppliers. And I'll be able to see that this organization, I think these suppliers, why is the inventory going up? Are these suppliers known by other people within the organization? So it gives me an understanding. Up to the time when I go to profit for the year, it gives an understanding of the board. Because they are the ones who are supposed to set the tone at the top. I can then now look at the balance sheet, which you still call a statement of whatever financial position. The balance sheet is divided into two. So as a financial modeler, I will be able also to see human beings in there. Let's move on. So what are the hot areas of financial modeling? I've already explained on accounting, you have actuarial, you have asset management, budgeting and forecasting. I've been doing budgeting for all these years and forecasting. So as a person that is in that department, you are forced to learn financial modeling. You go to even equity research, where you do your forecasting, 5-year forecast, and you actually give an opinion whether this company is viable or not. So these are the hot areas of financial modeling. And I guess you are on one of these areas. Today I had a very long lecture with the project accountants at ZICA, I think from 9 up to 16 hours somewhere there. We are looking at data analytics because they receive huge data. They interact with huge data, over 20,000 rows of data. So, and there are only ways in which they were playing around with data. So I was telling them that when you're doing your data manipulation, what tools do you use? No, we use me, we use what? Then I investigated, I said, guys, then how do you do it? I gave them some work. For example, those that deal with data analytics, obviously on data manipulation, you have functions such as mid, you have functions such as left, you have functions such as right, but you also need to bring in lane, you need to bring in trim, you need to bring in clean and all this, but you have to know how you combine them to start cutting this data that doesn't make sense. I'm trying to move a bit faster so that we do the Excel thing. Now, we go to dashboard reporting. You know, traditionally what was happening, and it's still happening in most of these companies, they spend more time writing narrative-based reports. You even go home around 01 and you tell your madam or your husband, honey, or I don't know these terms that we use. Narema. I was working on a report. Bill Gates says, if I employ an accountant and there's some repetitive work that is done and it's always doing that without automating it, I'm going to fire that accountant. I'm just trying to challenge you all that spend time in understanding this program called Excel. You can program in front of Excel, putting these formulas, or you can go into Visual Basic. It is just that important. Most organizations now, they're asking that, do you know how to analyze data using Python, using Excel? But But you see, these reports, narrative-based reports, they do not make sense. Because you write an 80-page report or 20-page report, having sleepless nights, and you even know to yourself that, my boss is not going to read it. You know how it feels writing a report which you know someone is not going to read. But it has become like ceremonial, like it's kuomboka, you just have to do it. Even when you leave unnecessary errors in the document, your boss is also not going to see them. So this is why now dashboard reporting is trending. Forget about those charts that you see, the inbuilt charts in Excel. We always create our own charts, and I'm going to create one with you. But I'm going to create one with you. Visuals help you to create a full story than narratives. Narratives, imagine for once, maybe leave narratives for lawyers. But imagine if the constitution was in visuals. Would people should be arguing amongst themselves? So this is what we are saying. Narrative-based reports are difficult to read and understand. Most difficult owners and executives have no time to sift through numerous and detailed management reports. They do not have time. So you need to know how to create reports, dashboards. But if by any mistake there is anyone in here who does the pie charts, please forget those things. Just delete them. They do not make any sense. And I'll demonstrate that to you. Human beings are good at reading lengths, heights, not those shapes that you do as pie charts. So what a dashboard report can easily answer. I collected some data from World Bank on Zambia from 1960. And I'm going to show you the nice dashboard that I did. Did you get that information on the Anyway, you even have it there.
Did you get that information on the flash?
So, when I got this card, I wanted to answer some few questions, and this is what dashboard report does. Has poverty reduced in Zambia now than before? Remove your political side, because human beings naturally they are political. So when you look at this, is it true that poverty has reduced or it has increased? Anyone, it doesn't matter, guys. You get it wrong. That question, we'll fact check with the data that we have. Has poverty reduced in Zambia now than before? No one is saying yes, no. Just raise your hands. Just. Adults newly infected with HIV, has it increased now than from 2008 to 2011? Here now, I was looking at 2008, 2011 when we had MMD, then now it's PF. Has it increased or what? Because you as accountants, chartered accountants, even your debate should be fact-based. Is there any relationship between GDP and life expectancy? We'll see. So these are issues on dashboards, science of communication. I think I've explained this. This is what I did in Excel. You will see the Excel thing. This is what I did. So let's go now to the Excel sheet. I can't see. Hello? I can't see the Excel workbook. It's written, not the ZICA lab data manipulation, but it's called ZICA forum. Okay, can I use my laptop?
Yeah, sure.
Fitz, give me my gun.
Okay.
Just. Okay, well, I'm still just opening the thing. Do this. Type 10 million somewhere. Yeah, in Excel. Oh, yes, in Excel. Math in Excel. Type 10 million somewhere. Yes, let me finish this on the PowerPoint. No, you can have it. Just put it there. Have you typed 10 million? Yeah? Yes, figures.
Okay.
Then go in that same cell where I've typed 10 million. I just want to keep you busy. Go to control 1. Control 1, control and 1. The one where there's that exclamation mark, just hold the control and. So how do I access your auto filling? You have done that? Then go to customs. From customs,
control 1.
check this where it's written type, general, type there, general,
Custom.
type, then general, under customs, on the number formatting. So below type, just delete the general, below type the general, delete the general.
Excuse me. Here. This what's bringing?
Oh. We can do this. Yeah, maybe it's not. Okay, let's go now to the art of dashboarding. Sorry, the presentation, I added some few things. So
It's an odd.
these are the pre-attentive attributes. I'll move a bit faster so that we look at Excel. If someone was to ask a question,
We've abandoned the 10,000.
I'll still come back. But what I wanted you to do was, when you go to, you delete that general, you type, you put in some format, you say hash, comma, hash, hash, 0. Hash, comma, hash, hash, 0.
Maybe I'm using the whole division, huh? Like so.
Hash, comma, hash, hash, 0. That's the format. But each time you want to reduce or compress your figures by 1,000, you put a comma last. So if they say you have 10 billion kwacha, you want to reduce it to maybe, you remove the whole million there where you put pamam. You put a comma, meaning you have reduced the 3. You put another comma, you reduce the 3. Each time you put comma plus, you reduce the 3. Then I'll explain something on masking. Get down. Those that have managed to do that, we are still coming back to Excel. We do not have time, so we have to do a bit of some juggling. Now, this is the art of dashboarding. If I was asked a question, how many 9s are there? It will take you a bit of some time to start checking where the 9s are. But if I paint these 9s in red or whatever, it becomes easier to even check, you know, that these 9s, they are actually how many? About 12, I think. Maybe to be precise, I don't know. But it's very easy to check. This is why you find they do a bit of some, you put a bit of some color, or you change the font levels, the font size. These are rows of about 2,500 sets of data. But at least you are able to see where the 9 is. So you know that the 9 is here. There is no any other place which has 9. So this is how you create, because the mind is able to get this. The mind is more artistic. And even just as Africans, I think we are more artistic than whatever, because if our religious books, as we are going in the rocks, isn't it? This is what we are doing. We were never writing, so we are artistic by nature. So when we see anything that is artistic, it becomes easier for us to interpret. So we are saying your brain registered the red 9 before you consciously address the grid of 2,000 numbers to count them. So it is easier for you to know that there is a 9 here before you start thinking of other things. This is why dashboard reporting is more effective. Sometimes differences in size are easy to see too. So you see these 9s. But do not, I've seen reports from Android, trust me, I've seen reports which are psychedelics, like this one. And you find this, sometimes you just get excited with color in Excel. This is so confusing, it's as bad as having no color. Okay. So, use of color in data visualization. One time, this is how we look at these things. So when our visual system betrays us, and pie charts betray the people that are supposed to make decisions. When you check on this, you ask yourself, is it a rabbit or a duck? Because it looks like a rabbit when you look at it from the other side. The other side again looks like a duck. This is how pie charts, those pie charts that we like, they are meaningless. They are so meaningless. We should start avoiding them. I hope ZICA is going to organize just a course in dashboard reporting where we take 5 days and we just meet and start building it. These things, don't use them. Okay, maybe for now you can continue using them like the way you should continue using VLOOKUP. I've told you that VLOOKUP is no longer there. It died on 28th August. Some few days ago, that is when we were burying VLOOKUP. So in the next few weeks or months, or maybe a year, you'll start seeing VLOOKUP. When you open, you say equals VLOOKUP. Who knows how, I think Msonda knows, but just keep quiet. Who knows, how would you know that a function that Excel has stopped supporting it? Microsoft has stopped supporting it. How would you know? When you're typing and you're putting these formulas, how would you know? No, come and teach. We come and teach you financial modeling. They're teaching you all the things. There is always a triangle, a yellow triangle. Each time you see a function, if you type there, you say equals find, you'll find the one down there, which is FINV. It has a yellow thing. Then just know that that is actually being phased out and Microsoft has stopped supporting it. Very soon you start seeing VLOOKUP and the match with those yellow triangles. Okay, now I can go to my Excel. Good. Maybe I just get the first one and I use your app.
Is it flashing up there? No, this.
Better to be better. Maybe then just get this.
So I need to update my Excel to 2016. I need to update my Excel. I'm using the whole version.
Okay, while we're waiting, let's just mask something. Sometimes in Excel, you see things that look like text, they are not text. And you are using that cell, it's just a value. So do this, type the corporate tax, type 0.35% in A1. In A1, as we are waiting for, it's still maybe rebooting, I don't know. Type in A1, type 35%, which is 0.35. You have typed that? Now, in that same A1, both control and 1. That's my favorite. I always use control 1 and control 2. So, you have typed control 1. No, this type of Excel. Here, it should be 2010 or something like that. So go to custom. Yes, it's there. Go to custom. Under custom. Under custom, delete whatever is under general there on type. Delete whatever is under general on type. So when you delete that, each time you hard code in Excel, you are typing, meaning hard coding, you put inverted commas, those double, like speech marks. Put those, the double one, then type corporate tax. Type corporate tax. Type corporate tax. They can inverted those double ones, then type corporate tax. It's just to open it. Then close it. Have you done that? It's 07.
Right now I'm using the old one.
Your tax is 35%. Not in there. Tax is 5%. Go to control 1, custom. Have you done that? Type inverted comma, corporate tax, inverted comma. You just want to confuse the NN. Okay. Yeah. Speak my data now. So when you do that, I'm sure there's something that you have seen. The cell that had 35% is now reading as corporate tax. Is it what you have seen? Okay, we'll do it here. Okay. Did you manage? So this is how we mask. Meaning if you have profit down there, you show your profit before tax. Then you show your tax. So you say tax, profit before tax, times the corporate tax there. But it's reading as corporate tax. Not that it is text. It is not text. It is value. So if you go in another cell, you ask what is in there, whether it is a text. You say equals is text. Open bracket, you enter there, it is going to tell you, I'm not text, sir, I'm a value. Now, this is the data that I got from World Bank, and I'm sure ZICA must have sent this data, everything in here. This data is from 1960 to date. It has a lot of interesting stuff. But you see, data visualization, if you do your dashboard reporting, it gives you a lot of insights that you would have difficulties if you wanted to start writing those narratives that you write. Now check these questions that we're asking. If I go here, in 1960, I start from here. It shows, check 1960 in terms of the death rate. Look at the death rate, the 1,000. It was very high, it starts going down. It was 20 per 1,000 people. So if I keep on going down here, check the way it is going, then now you should ask yourself a question. That from 1974 to about 1985, from here to about 1985, the death rate was very low. Why did it increase? Then coming this side again, after 1990 somewhere here, the death rate started increasing. Then it shows for sure around 2018, from 20 in 1960 per 1,000, if I come this side, it shows that it has reduced currently. Per 1,000 people in a year, you have only 8 who are actually dying. In 1960, when they were Wazungus, because there's this story we are told that when Kwenza Wazungu, life was good. Always anything that is in the past, people praise it. It was 20. So we don't know if we should say this shows that there was poverty or what, we don't know. But then we go the other side. There are also questions which now, because of this dashboard, this is data from 1960, and I'm just integrating it using dashboard reports I want to answer those questions. If now poverty has reduced than it was in 2008 to 2011, if we should actually link poverty to mortality, we would say yes, poverty has reduced, if that is one variable that we are using. But then we come to, again, the connection here, where we're actually saying, you see the mortality rates going up somewhere there. Oh, this is life expectancy. If we check on the time on new HIV infections, it does show you that around 1990, if I come this side, around 1990, guys, the first cases, we started hearing about them around 1990. 1990, the new HIV infections were about 79 and started increasing in 1992-94. And this is why you find that the mortality rate around that time, it actually went down. It went up, sorry. The life expectancy went down. This is what we're actually seeing here. It went down. Currently, we have now gone to only 42,000 new infections. Imagine from 95, this time, this period, obviously it was very bad. For millennials, they might not know. But Sokudala, we know what was happening there. So, then if we're trying to connect the HIV infections, the life expectancy with GDP, you will see again that there was a problem with GDP here. If I first remove this, then I go to GDP, you will see that our GDP, it wasn't actually growing. It went up a bit, then started reducing in 2004. But do you know what increased from 2004 going up there? The GDP started increasing. It went, currently now we're at 27 billion. We used to be around 3 billion. When we were forgiven that HIPIC thing. You remember HIPIC? When we were forgiven, meaning that the money that we were actually taking into loan amortization, it was now directed in the growth of the economy. And this is how we went up. For some reason, 2012, 2014, you have seen how it has gone and went up. So we are able to answer these questions. But you see, These are the tables that I see in most of the reports. I'm not saying in your report, but these are the tables that I see in most of your reports. So to show like this report does not make sense, it has no life. This thing where you just do a table. No one is going to make a decision based on tables like this. Maybe this is why they don't even read these reports. But if you have a table, same information in this form, visually, it gives you an understanding of what is happening here with all these figures. You're able to see that there was a growth in terms of new infections. The lifespan here, it was about 43. Currently the lifespan now, as we speak, the lifespan has gone to about 62. So, those days, 2018, according to World Bank, the lifespan has actually gone to 62 from 45. And you will see that during 1990 to 94, the lifespan also reduced from 46 to 43. This time, if you are 60, in those days when the lifespan was about 40, 43, if you are 45, count yourself to be lucky, because statistically the government expects you not to be there. But this time around, I think, now 66, 62, at least we are still there. The government expects us to be there. This is dashboard reporting. Now we can look at some few Excel and maybe create some quick dashboards. I don't know if time is with us, but maybe we can do that. I'm not done, but we can do like this, right? Sometimes good to motivate. Let's move on now. So you let us know when we are supposed to stop. So let's just open a new. Oh, use this and that. I'm sure you know how to open a new workbook, right? How do you open a new workbook? Just hold Control N. Control N. When you are in Excel and want to open a new workbook, is it a new workbook or a new worksheet? Just hold Control N to open the new worksheet. Okay, and then just grow this a bit. Let's just assume that you are getting this data from Sun or from Oracle. Pastel, or forget it. I don't have. So let's say Sun or Oracle. Let's say you have 1200 like this. 1200 point 1200. Maybe that is your business unit. 1200 point. Then you have 5000 point. 1200 point. Then you have your cost center 5000. Type that, point again the full stop. So obviously when you have your business unit, you have your cost center, you have your account. So your account, we say, a salary account maybe 6200 or 307, which is about how many digits? 6 digits. That is your account. Because when you're posting, you have your business unit, you have your cost center, you have your account, right? Then the last part, you have, for example, if it was a project, or first let me just leave it there so that we do it very basic. Then I show you when it is floating. Delete the point there. Okay. Just delete. I can see the. Then this is in row number 1. Just imagine that you have extracted this data set, which is maybe 2,000 rows of data. You can't start doing these things manually. It's not possible. Then you have another cost center, which is 1400 dot. That was a BU. The cost center here you have 4,500 point. Then another account, maybe this account is transport. Maybe it is 631,002. 631,002. Enter. So you are told you have actually gone to some company. This company, you applied for a job, and in there, most of us, this is what we do. Even show in the CV, because our CVs are so heavy, we show in the CV that I'm a financial modeler. I do financial modeling. Then you find me there, I'm part of the interviewing. And we just put a screen. Then we say, what we want you to do BU, CC, and account. This is a first test to save a lot of people so that we remain with very few people, so that we should concentrate on. And because I've created dummy data and I've created 1,000, and we are saying this should be done within 10 minutes, and we are waiting. We are not even telling you time. We are just waiting. So, guys, here, you can use your mid, you can use your left, you can use whatever. So we are going to use 3 methods. We are going to use mid, we are going to use left, mid, and right. Mid is more or less like a pair of scissors that you use to start cutting your data. It doesn't matter how it is mumbo-jumboed, but you'll be able to do that. So let's start with left. Left, it picks the first strings. So, here we'll say equals left.
Okay.
So I've typed equals left. Once you see it's coming there, you can even tab. When you tab, if you want the function argument box, which shows the syntax, and I always ask, people are still learning Excel. Yes, you know Excel, but for you to start using Excel in financial modeling, I always ask that you open the function argument box. This function argument box, you can go to FX, or you can use my shortcut, which is Control A. So if I hold Control and A, I'm saying I'm opening the function argument, meaning that now it is easier for me to read this. Now let me say something about Excel. When you open a function argument box and you see in there things that are not in bold, or maybe those that are in bold, the syntax argument that is in bold, it means that it is mandatory, you need to use it. Anything that is grayed out, like number of characters, even if I leave it, it will assume, this is why your VLOOKUP will normally put 1 or 0, meaning true or false. False, it means that you want an exact match. If you want Kapepe, you want Kapepe, not caps or something else. So here, if I go now, we get in there, we say text number. It even tells you returns a specified number of characters from the start of a text string. So I'll enter there. So it assumes if I don't enter the number of characters, even if I say okay, it will only pick 1, because it assumes that it should only cut the first character. This is why it is not mandatory.
Okay.
But this is not what we want. We know that these are fixed values or fixed coding according to our chart of accounts. So we know that a BU has 4 characters. So we'll type 4 there, down, under number of characters. We'll type 4. Enter. So it shows you your BU there, then you just double click so that it goes into other cells. It's very interesting. You don't need to start going whatever, and the company should start paying overtime. This can be done whether it's 10,000 rows or whatever. This is how you do it. Oh, okay. Then you go to the cost center. Yes, sir. Okay. So let's just move this, guys. First, you know your chart of accounts, guys. First, let me just explain this. you do budgets in your companies. We know that a budget is just a plan expressed on monetary terms. But there's something maybe in our accounting profession which we are not told, that a budget sits on an organization structure. That organization structure, it is designed according to your chart of accounts is a representation of your organization structure. Yes, organization structure is the one that is going to influence your strategy. But your budget will be based on the organization structure. The chart of accounts is actually a foundation. It's a platform, or should I say it's a representation of your organization structure, because it is going to show you the business unit. It could be Choma, Mongu, Lusaka. Then it's going to show you the cost center, which is a department. Then it is going to go to account. This is how you organize them. Now, we have this. So we know that all business units, they have 4 characters. So we are saying we are using a function called left. Control A, we open the function argument so that we understand the syntax. So there are only 2 arguments in this thing, the syntax. So we know that text, if I leave text and I enter number of characters, it's uncanny, it will show error. But if I enter text and ignore number of characters, for example, if I forget about this, then I say I want to pick 5 here, it will not show anything, because it has realized that I don't know anything.